Welcome back to a new video. Today's video is focused on Young Rock Season 3 Episode 10 entitled Once Upon a Time In. And the official synopsis of this episode is Pat Patterson finds love in Boston, Andre the Giant meets his destiny in Paris, and Peter Maivia teaches Sean Connery how to fight, and Dwayne's tales of their younger years. And before I give out my review, please like the video, dislike the video, subscribe, or comment. Episode 10 wasn't bad, as it was done in a pretty interesting way, with basically giving us just like 3 mini stories of 3 different people that inspired The Rock to become the person that he is today. As the episode just starts off in the present time, Dwayne is struggling bad with trying to get this Belgium coffee deal, and it just becomes a little bit worse as the president of the United States just calls Dwayne and just to see how things are going. And he's a little bit stressed out as well too, because I guess people are a little bit just like growing tired of waiting, etc., for the coffee and stuff like that. But then Prime Minister Angela and The Rock, they go to a coffee shop, they talk, and then the episode by then is basically separated into 3 mini parts with Pat Patterson, Andre the Giant, and Peter Maivia's basically mini stories about their characters and how they inspired The Rock to become the person that he is today when it comes with his life, wrestler, actor, you name it. The first story was about Pat Patterson in the 1960s and how he started off as wrestling, how he was one of the only gay male wrestlers during that time, and just how life was for him, how he wrestled with Peter Maivia, Rocky Johnson, and how everything was and stuff like that. We also get a mini background story of how Pat met his boyfriend as well too. And his boyfriend's story is definitely interesting, as they just got to know each other and they just hit it off, and that's all I can pretty much say. And Rocky just talks about how Pat Patterson was basically one huge inspiration, how if it wasn't for him, he might not be The Rock today. And so yeah. The next story is focused on Andre the Giant before he became a wrestler. Paris in the 1960s, Andre definitely stands out from any other person because of him being extremely tall. And he decides to go to a bar one night just to have a good old time. And he decides to basically have some fun with many different people by arm wrestling, drinking games, having people take his pictures, until one man is just very curious about Andre the Giant and how, whether or not if he wants to wrestle, and just why he thinks it would be a good idea, and how he has a talent and why he is something special and extraordinary, people may say. And this guy was a one-armed wrestler who basically has the strength of someone you don't want to get punched in the face by. Like, you'll just become natural selection by then anyways. But yeah, Andre the Giant was another huge inspiration in The Rock's life, and I can see why. Like, he is a legend. I do like Andre the Giant a lot too, so yeah. The last story is focused on High Chief Peter Maivia, and this is basically focused on the time that Peter Maivia was working on the James Bond movie You Only Live Twice with Sean Connery, as he does appear in the movie as well in a few different scenes as well too. And they just talk about how he helped Sean Connery when it came with the fighting scenes, just giving him advice about different things. Sean Connery talks about hating being James Bond, and as we know in real life, he did retire only for a little bit. And yeah, like, the stories basically end with the 3 just coming together, all of them just talking about their future and just talking about what they want to do next. Like Peter Maivia starting his wrestling company, and Pat and Andre just figuring things out as well. The episode just basically ends with just Prime Minister Angela and The Rock just talking, and Prime Minister Angela is refusing to change her stance, as Jeljum's coffee is something special, and she just believes that the people of Jeljum would not accept it. Would not, it just wouldn't work out if the United States just had a trade deal and everything else. So it seems as if like Dwayne will be going home with no deal in sight, and now I'm curious as to see how the people will react to it. But that's the episode. Episode 10 to me wasn't bad, as I think the mini stories of the three different wrestlers were all interesting and just showing how these three people had a huge inspiration and why The Rock is the person or wrestler that he was today. I'm kind of surprised that the story about the Jeljum coffee is now over with. I thought it would have just went on just a little bit longer and maybe something more crazier happening. But now I'm just curious to see how the people will react now that the deal has officially not gone forward. And will The Rock still be loved, or will people now hate him because he didn't get them their coffee or whatever? Yeah, the performances in here, they were cool. Nobody to me gave out a bad performance. Curious to see what happens next when it comes with the stories and the flashbacks, and as well as just the present day time though. But as always, just thank you for watching, and until next time.